And welcome to the Boneless Chicken Cadet podcast. I'm your host, Michael. Joining me this week, as always, we have David.
Yo-ho.
Caleb.
Sup?
And hopefully for the entirety of the podcast this evening, we have Shay with a better internet.
Hello, I got my connection fixed.
Yay!
Yay!
Took you long enough.
At least it's not like.
I know.
So,
At least it's not like what's going to be in the blooper reel.
Oh
God, we've been working on. It took us 8 minutes to get started tonight. Okay.
Okay, yeah. All right.
All right.
So,
And before we
Michael,
get to tonight's topic, does anybody have any updates on how their past 2 weeks have been? Anything new go on in their program?
I got a job.
I made a train. I made a train schedule on Friday.
Nice.
I'm retired. I'm retired,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I got a new job at Swiss Chalet.
Nice. David?
I missed cadets the first day of cadets because of work.
Speaking of which, you work at a surplus store, right?
Oh heck yeah! So that's going to be probably one of our next subjects is surplus gear, where you can get it from, and all that, and how it helps cadets.
Agreed. Well, for me, living in the southern United States, as y'all in my area would know, high school football is very important to us. Our season started on the 30th with a game that we lost by 1 point. I was there the entire time. Most exciting game we ever lost. And then last night I feel like God was just raining down on us with all of his fury. It rained all day.
Someone need to let it go.
I mean, it rained from like 6 o'clock on Friday night all the way to midnight, with lightning from about 6 o'clock to 8:30. So pretty much the only people that were still at the game, besides the teams, coaches, and athletic trainers, aka field medics, were the diehard fans. I would have been one of them if I wasn't in uniform, but it was raining, and they're not that comfortable in the heat when it's raining.
Did you? By the way, whoever's a big fan of football, did you hear about the guy? I believe he plays for the Dolphins. Did you hear about the guy who plays for the Dolphins who said he could probably make a hockey team within 6 months of training?
No, I didn't.
No.
When I saw that article, I burst out laughing because I'm like, yeah, right. You need to be playing hockey for at least basically since you were like a little kid in order to play.
Huh. Well, with everybody's updates, it seems that we're clear to go to tonight's topic. So, if I'm correct, David, tonight's topic is military movies, books, and video games, the good and the bad.
Exactly.
And the ugly.
All right, and so, like I was about to say, a disclaimer: our opinions may differ from yours. Please respect our differences, and we'll respect yours.
And also another thing is that some of these movies, not all of us may have watched, but we'll give our opinions. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So does anybody in particular want to start on their favorite military book?
I've got two really good military books in front of me right now, actually.
No.
All right. Perfect.
I'll start in order of how old they are, as in, like, what war they're from. The first one was actually a gift from my girlfriend. It's called Commitment and Sacrifice, Personal Diaries from the Great War. And it's like 4 or 5 different diaries from different people during the Great War, or during World War I. So there's a British sapper, so those of you who don't know, that's an engineer. A French infantry officer, an American volunteer ambulance driver, a German businessman caught in England, a New Zealand artilleryman, and a German machine gunner held as a prisoner of war.
Damn.
Wow.
That's quite an. That
So that's a lot of different. It's a good read. It's very good. It's definitely interesting to see German side of things as well. You don't really get that in a lot of movies, like except for maybe All Quiet, but
All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yeah.
yeah. So this you actually get two different German perspectives: one as a POW and one as a home detainee.
Right.
The other one, which has a special place in my heart, is My Father's Son by Farley Mowat, which also has this. It also has this idea that it's diaries and letters, but these are all written by the author Farley Mowat, who a lot of Canadians and just a lot of people who are very well read will recognize the name. It's close to my heart because it's he fought in a regiment that I served with in cadets, and will hopefully be serving within the reserves, which is the Hastings and Prince Edward Regiment. And it's mostly letters between him and his father. A few of them between his mother as well. And you get to see his father's letters and his. It's not just what he is writing, it's what they are writing back. And it's definitely interesting. I love the cover art on it. It's just a plain red cover, because at the time the HCPs actually wore red berets, with a Mills grenade with the pin out laying next to it, where it says, and it has the title and the author's name. It's very good. Very good book. Actually, if you could actually find a picture of that cover, just like put it in when we post this, along with that'd be a good idea.
Send it to David.
Yeah, I'll upload. I'm probably going to be putting a lot of books or like titles and all
Book
that.
covers.
Yeah, because our usual background is kind of bland, so we could just every so often when we talk about it, just throw in a picture of what we're talking about, so
exactly.
you get the idea.
Exactly.
Yeah. Actually, with Commitment and Sacrifice, despite it having no Canadians in it, the picture on the cover is actually of a Canadian soldier writing a letter home. Now, I know it's Canadian because Canada's Great War album, which is another good nonfiction book, actually has that picture in it and lists him as a Canadian.
Yeah. Ooh, that actually sounds really interesting, to be honest.
So that's my take on the books.
All right. So let's do books first, and it's what we'll start. Shay's already said his books, so we'll start off with books, then movies.
Yes.
Yeah. It just sorry if it sounds out of place, guys. Sorry.
No problem.
Yeah.
So who wants to go next?
I guess I'll go next.
All right, Canadians first, Americans second.
Okay.
It's like how the War of 1812 ended.
Hey!
Ouch! Okay.
Just remember, we've been protecting y'all ever since England stopped.
At least
and just remember, we burnt down your White House.
Which was actually, funny fact, was pink. Which was pink.
Burn, 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 and we're the ones who did it.
The ones that did it.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. So, my books...
We built it back stronger.
The books I have aren't really in order. But, the first one, which I actually finished reading not too long ago, was actually The Operator by Robert O'Neill. If you don't know who Robert O'Neill is, he's the guy who basically killed Bin Laden on the Bin Laden raid. He was the first guy. And I found it quite literally the most interesting thing because it gives you, basically a sneak peek into, a Navy SEAL's life kind of deal. They're literally...
That's actually really interesting.
And O'Neill was also involved in the Maersk, Alabama incident. If you don't know what that is, it's basically, if you've seen Captain
the Somali
Phillips.
pirate.
Yeah,
Captain Phillips. Yeah.
Yes.
Which we'll get to that one later because it can be technically counted as a military movie.
Yeah, And he was also involved with Red Wings, if you know what that is.
Yes.
Oh,
Operation Red Wing.
Haven't seen Red Wings.
It's not
Haven't seen that one.
Lone Survivor.
Lone Survivor.
Or haven't heard of that one.
Operation
Lone
Red
Survivor.
Oh,
Wing.
yes.
Yeah, he was involved with the search for Marcus Luttrell as well. He actually, him and if I remember correctly, him and a few of his buddies actually met the guys of that squad before they went on that mission. Which is...
Oh, that's heavy.
Yeah, so when I read that, I'm like, that's actually kind of eerie. So... And really, it's a very interesting book. I'd recommend it to a lot of people. The next book I have on my list, it's not really in order, like I said. It's called In Harm's Way, and it's about the USS Indianapolis.
I have heard of that book. It's apparently quite good.
It is. It's really, really good. Honestly, if once you get past the sinking and when the sharks come, it becomes basically a horror movie playing in your head.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, because just imagine...
Fun fact about that. The sharks that attack humans most frequently are white-tipped sharks, and they exclusively go after floundering prey in the water.
Yeah, exactly. And when you have and the thing is that they mention tiger sharks in it. Tiger sharks are not known to go after people, but what everyone's figuring that happened was they found the dead bodies first, had a bunch of those, and when they saw live people, they just went nuts. They just went on a kill.
Well, especially because tiger sharks, forgive me for joining us in a Shark Week, but tiger sharks actually will just eat anything that comes across their path.
Yeah, but they don't.
It doesn't matter what it is; they'll just eat it.
They don't really go after humans that often, really.
No, that's because they're deep sea sharks. Humans aren't often in the deep sea.
Yeah, and I did a video on the Indianapolis actually. I did one. And,
oh yeah.
Yeah, and towards the end, what I found was complete BS. Was how they placed the blame on the captain himself, which was like he did everything he could to save his men.
Didn't he eventually commit suicide?
How can you blame?
Yeah, he committed suicide.
How can you blame the Indianapolis? Like, no, let's not blame the submarine. Let's blame the captain.
No, blame intelligence, because the night before the Indianapolis actually sunk, and actually a few days before it sunk, the captain, Captain McVeigh, actually asked for reports on where Japanese submarine sightings have been happening. And a day before he asked, actually, the USS Underhill, for all you U.S. Navy guys, you probably will probably be looking that up, but the USS Underhill was actually sunk by a Japanese submarine in the area where the Indianapolis was sailing.
Yeah, faulty intelligence.
Yeah.
There is a good, however, you can have the best intelligence in the world. That doesn't mean your battle plan is ever going to go properly.
Yeah, but and
no battle plan ever survives first contact.
But literally, and what it also shows you is not to offend you Americans like Michael
and
sorry,
and censored. No last number.
Right, yeah. Sorry, Caleb. But
cool.
literally, it literally highlights how the U.S. Navy was a good navy in World War II, but the one thing that was faulty was basically the travel systems and all that. That just seems so faulty. And the book literally will bring that out and highlight it. So, anyway.
Next... let's go Michael next.
Oh, I have 2 more books.
Oh, you do?
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Next one is obviously probably Dunkirk, because the Dunkirk movie book, which I found quite knowledgeable, and
it's entertaining. It's entertaining, and it's a good movie subjectively, but there's some glaring historical inaccuracies that Rivet counters hate.
Yeah, And the book actually will. If you watch the movie after, or if you read the book after you watch the movie, it actually addresses those. It kind of addresses them. Why they were like that. So
yeah, a lot of it comes down to Christopher Nolan just refused to use any CGI whatsoever, or to do anything that wasn't gonna feel or wasn't gonna be authentic, which is why there's so few soldiers on the beach, and why they used the modern town of Dunkirk.
To be honest, he worked with what he had. He worked with what he had.
Yeah, exactly, and you have to respect that it is probably the last war movie ever to be made using all practical effects.
Unless we get
when is that ever going to happen again?
Unless we get something on North Africa, then.
Oh God.
Yeah, but it's still the thing. If you were to remake Patton or something like that, most filmmakers will probably still use copious amounts of CGI because of the negative reception from rivet counters, essentially, about Dunkirk.
Any Michael and Caleb have any other words on it?
I saw Dunkirk in theaters. I didn't know much about the campaign or the specific battle before then, but I did research it afterwards, so I am aware of the historical inaccuracies in the movie. But I don't really have a comment about it.
Okay, Michael. Michael?
I have no opinion on it, to be honest. I haven't seen Dunkirk.
Oh God.
If anyone, you guys or the listeners,
right?
I'm not sure if it is, but if you guys, you or the listeners, want to see a really good review of Dunkirk, look for a YouTube channel called History Buffs by Nick Hodges.
Oh yes.
I love History Buffs.
History Buffs has probably the best review of Dunkirk that I've seen, and it makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
I love Nick Hodges and his work, so he does just a really good job with it. Hello and welcome, History Buffs.
Alright. So, can I go into my last book?
Yep.
Sure.
It's a fairly new book as well. Michael, or Shay, sorry. I'm not sure if you've seen it in the bookstores, but it's called Operation Medusa.
No.
I haven't seen that yet. I would very much like to get acquainted with it.
Operation Medusa is basically what I like to call is where the Americans strafed us with a bloody A-10.
Sorry, what? I'm sorry, what?
Basically, it was a friendly fire incident.
During Operation...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
During Operation Medusa, a bunch of Canadians, including someone that I actually knew in the war, he survived. He survived with minor injuries. And he did not die during that particular operation. However, he did unfortunately pass away in December of 2008, fighting in Afghanistan.
Oh.
May he rest in peace.
But he was a part... Thank you. He was a part of the Crazy Eights Battalion, or the Crazy Eights Company, rather.
Crazy Eights Company?
Of Crazy Eights Company, or Crazy Eights Platoon, that's what it is.
Those guys are legendary.
Crazy Eights. Yeah, he was in the Crazy Eights Platoon of the Royal Canadian Regiment, and basically, the Crazy Eights and some other members of Charles Company were burning some garbage during the operation, and they were out by their labs, and they're burning this garbage off, and an American A-10 Thunderbolt II, better known as the Warthog, had mistaked these Canadian soldiers as being Taliban. Yeah, and
he
asked for authorization, and the Canadians were unfortunately strafed by our own allies.
They got the 30 mil.
Basically, it reduced the... basically, the GAU 8 tore a hole straight through us.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And it reduced the company below... It reduced the company below fighting strength. I think it was like 36 soldiers were taken out of action by that, including my
acquaintance.
I don't have permission from his family or the people I know him from to use his name, but he was
a good man.
But
He was a good man.
yeah, he was good, and he did receive a medal posthumously from an event that happened earlier. But he was wounded by the A-10 and was taken to the hospital, and he eventually got back out in the field. Quite obviously.
Wait,
For,
Shay.
Pardon
yeah.
me?
Okay, so in the aftermath of this incident, would they have received the sacrifice medal, or would they not have?
Most Canadians would have, yes, because the sacrifice medal is essentially the Canadian Purple Heart. But it just means if you're wounded on operation. I may be wrong about this, but in America, you can't get the Purple Heart if you're not wounded by direct enemy action. But in Canada, you can get the sacrifice medal regardless.
I believe
I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe that's what it is.
I could be wrong. Someone will correct me in the comments, but yeah.
But may I add with the A10? What if I remember correctly from what I've read? It's been a few weeks since I last read it, but I believe the Taliban were on the other side of the hill that the Canadians were, and he got disoriented and he thought those guys were. He got the mountain range mixed up and he basically reversed it. He got disoriented, strafed the Canadians, and they yelled ceasefire, ceasefire, you're strafing friendlies, and he went uh-oh. And then he looked at his map again, and he realized he had gotten the mountain range all flipped around.
Wait,
Now, he was actually very remorseful about this and accepted the punishments that came along with this, because of course he can't get off scot-free after that.
Yeah, he didn't need to.
There was another story. There was another story of other Canadians being strafed by, wasn't a warthog this time,
It was an
but
Apache.
if you ever watched the TV show War Stories Afghanistan,
It was an Apache.
which I highly recommend,
Yes, I've watched those.
there was an Apache pilot who saw a Canadian sergeant major firing a Carl Gustav recoilless rifle, better known as the CGM2, and he's firing it. He saw the backblast from this recoilless rifle and assumed that he was being fired at
By an RPG.
and he was told repeated times, do not fire, those are friendlies, and still just went ahead and wounded 2 Canadians. And during his co-pilot expressed extreme remorse during the court-martial and was very apologetic to the 2 wounded Canadians. Mm-hmm. The actual gunner who fired the shot, who actually got off scot-free from this, he was relieved of... Yeah, he was dismissed of any wrongful actions. And he was very smug, was the reaction that he had when he came out of the court hearing, and he was receiving death threats because of it.
Wow.
I'm assuming they're family and they're acquaintances, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
It's not a movie, but if anyone ever sees on History Channel or on YouTube or anything like that, War Stories Afghanistan, it's all Canadian stories, so if you're not into that, I'm sorry, but it tells us a very good story of what happened.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And it's very good war stories.
All right, who wants to go next?
What?
I think I'll go next. I don't truly
Well, you're the
have...
only one left.
Caleb.
Caleb hasn't gone yet.
Yes, what?
Oh yeah.
You just haven't gone yet. I'm going.
Oh, okay.
I honestly don't have any any really bad military books that I've read. but my two favorite have to be Unbroken,
Yes.
the story of
Yes.
Louis Zamperini. If I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but
Is that pretty?
him,
Yeah.
something like that, and To Hell and Back by Audie Murphy.
I've been looking for a copy of that.
I think you can get it. I think you can get it on Amazon or on or for an ebook.
Oh my god. No, I don't. The thing is with me, I don't not like ebooks. I prefer like the full hardcover, like hardcover, softcover books.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was lucky enough.
My
I was
copy
lucky enough
of
to find
Commit-
a copy in my school library.
My copy of Commitment and Sacrifice is a hardcover, and I love that. My Father's Son is a paperback. I still like it. I love the book. I'm very glad I own it.
All right. So, Caleb?
Yeah. Okay, so personally, my my two recommendations for military books is one, Band of Brothers, which is as all
called
of you
it.
know.
Called it.
One, yeah, everyone loves it.
Everyone loves it.
Everyone called it because everybody called it because it's all you talk about, Caleb.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no,
You stole the words from my mouth, Mike.
I mean,
to be fair, I did
you'll never be sitting in the Hitler's Eagle's nest, badass.
drinking wine.
Drinking his wine, yeah.
Yeah, you'll never
his
be that
wine,
badass. That will
drinking his-
never happen again.
No, you'll never.
No, he had a Hermann
No.
Goering wine, didn't he?
No, it was Hitler's.
Did he have Hermann Goering wine?
That was
No, it was
what's his
It
name?
was Hitler's wine.
Oh,
and
yeah, that
it
was-
was Hitler's wine and Hitler's cigars that they were smoking.
What was the guy's
smoking.
name? Nixon. It was Nix.
Yeah, but Nixon got Hermann Goering's spirit collection, and it was
Vought
just
69. He got all the Vought
Oh my
69 he
God.
loved.
yeah.
Yeah,
that
but,
69 is actually a very rare whiskey nowadays.
Really?
Well, yeah,
Because
because
yeah.
they stopped making it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a very rare vintage nowadays. I would love to try some.
I believe I would bet once Band of Brothers became a move like the kind of TV movie series. I bet you people were looking for VAT 69.
Oh,
Quite
probably.
possibly.
I think any sales of the remaining bottles was skyrocketed.
Oh my god.
Because who wouldn't want to try some of Nixon's favorite whiskey?
Exactly. God.
My favorite scene in that whole series, in the TV series version, is where Nixon gets shot by
Oh, no.
like they're escaping. No, like it's not a big spoiler because he lives, but like they're escaping from
he gets-
Operation Market Garden,
He gets shot in the head and
and he gets just a ping off the brim of his helmet, and he gets knocked on the ground. And he's like, and Winters just runs over like, Dick, are you all right? Nix, you good? Or Nix, not Dick, because Winters is Dick. But it's like,
I
Nix,
was about to say.
you okay?
I was about to say.
Are you all right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Nix, you all right? I'm all right. You all right? Yeah. Quit looking at me like that.
Yeah, but
the other badass in that is what's his name?
Captain
Le-
Spears.
Yes, Spears. How the
I
hell?
like Spears.
How the heck has he not gotten the
You know
Medal
who
of Honor?
I don't know, but my favorite
Oh.
character in all of Band of Brothers was Wild Bill Garnier. Garnier. I love Garnier. Troy
Wasn't
and
Gar-
Garnier. Or Toy and
wasn't-
Garnier. That was it. Toy and Garnier.
Wasn't Garnier Jewish, I believe?
No, that was
No, that was Liebgott.
Leapgod.
Liebgott.
First Sergeant Liebgott, yeah.
Remember, remember he got in a fight on the boat with Liebgott?
What's his name?
Cause it's like, remember, because like they were on the boat and on their way to England, and he was just like, they're saying, "Oh, that prick's the son of Abraham," because there's like talking about how he ain't Catholic.
Yeah.
He ain't Catholic, so neither is Sobel. No, that prick's the son of Abraham. Liebgott perks up. He's what? He's a Jew. Hey, I'm a Jew. Congratulations. Now get your nose out of my face.
Uh,
That started a nice big fight between them. Fighting over Sobel. That's smart.
Oh, well.
I actually did some research on Captain Sobel, and honestly, it's quite depressing, to be honest. Everyone gives him such a bad rap.
I know.
Caleb,
He has such a bad rep, and
Caleb.
he wasn't a good
What?
combat leader. He wasn't a good combat leader, but he tried to kill himself.
yeah. Did you read about what happened to Captain Sobel? Caleb?
Yeah, I read his Wikipedia article. Like
Caleb, have
he
you read
he
about
was
it?
an Orthodox Jew.
he botched his suicide in the 50s.
I know. It's
Yeah,
like,
because he got such a bad rep by the members of Easy Company and everything like that he was just so sick of everything that he actually tried to commit suicide,
I
and he
feel-
ended up blinding himself.
I honestly feel bad for him
I do too.
because he
Yeah, he ended up going blind because the shot missed his brain, but it like severed his corneas or something like that, or its optical nerves.
Mhm.
I can't
The
remember
optic
what
nerve.
exactly it was, but he went blind because he shot himself in the head, and he just lived the rest of his life a very sad and sick man.
oh, like come on, like whoever thinks whoever thinks that, like, before, I always found Captain Sobel, you know, like everyone thought he would, but after reading his Wikipedia article, after like a few days after watching Banner Brothers, I'm like, oh my god, I feel bad for him. Like,
Yeah, like
Jesus Christ. God.
David Schwimmer did it was David Schwimmer, right, who played him?
Yeah, the guy from Friends.
Yeah, Ross.
Really?
Ross
Yes!
from Friends.
Yes.
Oh
he's
my
the-
god.
If you ever watch, you don't really notice it when you watch him because you're just like, yeah, that's Sobel. But like, if you take David, maybe do this in your editing. Put up a picture of Ross next to a picture
I
of
will.
Sobel.
I will.
David Schwimmer in both costumes, and like the difference is stark, but you still know that they're different, right? You see that it's two different, that they're the same person. That's still David Schwimmer.
Yeah.
But put the pictures up of David Schwimmer as Ross and as
What?
Sobel, and like it's just different.
Okay.
All right. So we're going on to movies now.
It's
Guys. My mom needs me to
What?
take. My mom needs me to take cold medication.
Okay.
So I'll be back in like 3 minutes. This is very awkward because it's on the podcast, but just
That's
continue
good.
without me.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, we're going on to movies, so we'll probably take a while to do everything.
We're gonna edit that out anyway.
yeah. We'll do you last.
Yeah, just
Okay. I'll start
Alright,
again.
just-
Just like we'll just keep going in that order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So that means Shay, you go first for favorite military
Okay.
movie.
Okay, I'm gonna start off with a bad movie because
Oh yeah. Let's start off with bad
one
movies.
movie
Bad
I
movies.
absolutely hated it. Yeah,
Bad
let's get
movie?
start off
You
with the worst war movies we've ever seen. My
You mean-
top two for the worst war movies I've ever seen. I think the obvious one that we probably all have is Pearl Harbor.
Yes.
It's just so
oh
bad.
my god, it's like a wet dream by Michael Bay.
It's so. It's just so bad. Like the actual Pearl Harbor scene where they're attacking Pearl Harbor, it's a great feat of cinematography. It's a great scene, but the rest of the movie is just so bad.
and what didn't
Like, give me Tora 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 any day. please.
I'll take Tora Tora any day as well. But the one thing I never got was
Yeah.
the Battle of Britain part. Like, I know it was trying to represent the American Eagle squadrons,
Yeah,
but like,
the RAF Eagle Squadrons. As for the other, oh god, that one's actually a little tougher because like I haven't seen it in a long time. Because I could go off all day on fantastic war movies from
Yeah.
anyway, going from like Hyena Road to Waterloo, but like probably one of the worst ones I've ever seen.
Bridge on the
Was-
River Kai.
I'm gonna get some controversy for this. No, I'm gonna get some controversy for this, but Enemy at the Gates.
Yeah, I can.
I don't like Enemy at the Gates.
Enemy
I
at the
haven't
Gates
seen
is 50-50. Honestly, for me.
I'm not very. Okay. There's so
That's the same
many
way
bad historical inaccuracies with Enemy at the Gates. Like, because Enemy at the Gates, you have a scene. You have things like the one with the rifle shoots. That's a scene that everyone knows from Enemy at the Gates. But it's so inaccurate. No, we get that the Russians were crazy and that they would shoot their own men for retreating. But things like the one with the rifle shoots is just so... It's just bull crap. It's so bad, because, like, for those of you who don't know this scene...
Oh yeah, and censored.
I said crap.
Crap's
yeah,
okay.
I heard
We'll let
something
I
else.
said crap.
Okay, sorry, I heard something else.
For those of you who don't know this scene, though, for those of you who don't know this scene, this stupid scene, and I can't remember the guy, but he made a video about it. It wasn't Nick Hodges. But the scene is that all the guys are getting their weapons for the impending siege of Stalingrad, and the commanders are yelling, "The one with the rifle shoots, the one with the ammo loads. And when the one with the rifle is dead, you pick up his rifle." Like, that would have never happened. They wouldn't just send two men in together, give one ammo and the other a rifle. They would have given you something. Like, and they would never send you in with a rifle that has no ammunition. They just wouldn't do that. There's no historical documentation of them ever doing that. And I get it, because like I get how I'm gonna sound kind of hypocritical for this, because I will say in our best movies that one of my favorite is Dunkirk, but like it's just so blatantly ignorant of history.
Yeah.
Because that's just something that never would have happened. So like they're giving them out a Mosin Nagant to one, and a bunch of clips of ammunition to the other, and I can say clips because they were loaded on stripper clips. So it's not a magazine if it's a stripper clip. I have gotten corrected on that before, and I just laugh. Yeah,
Like,
but it's just such a bad scene. But on the other hand, it does have some really good scene, like the one that inspired a very famous video game scene that we all know, World at War's fountain scene was inspired.
Yes.
Oh, that's a classic.
Yeah, with Red Soft, that was ripped directly from.
We'll get
that scene was actually ripped directly from Enemy at the Gates.
We'll get
that
to
scene
the
was
video
ripped
games.
directly from Enemy at the Gates with the scene. Yeah, with the scene, can you shoot a rifle or can you use a rifle? That scene is an exact mirror of the fountain scene at World at War, and vice versa. They're ripped, and the COD one was ripped right from the movie. It's such a good scene. In both, it is. And the sniper versus sniper scene as well, in the same movie.
Oh, yeah. Except
also ripped off in World at War.
But the thing is that World at War actually got it right. Where... No, I'm serious.
Yes.
World at War...
Did.
World at War, it was just a normal German sniper. In the movie, it's just like a built-up German officer. No, it wasn't that.
No, that's the killing Amsel scene. The sniper versus sniper scene. They're in a burning building.
Yeah, it's sniper versus sniper scene.
And
That's what I'm talking
Reznov
about.
runs for your distractions. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. The German sniper was not a high-ranking general or some BS like that. It was just a regular German sniper that he got.
Exactly. As for my best war movies, I'm gonna sound biased on one and hypocritical on the other, because one of my favorite war movies is Hyena Road. It's a good movie. It's a movie that you probably haven't heard of if you're outside of Canada, and sometimes if you're inside Canada. It's Canadian made. It's currently on US Netflix, but not Canadian one. I find that just so funny. It's based around a section of Canadian snipers operating in Afghanistan, and this kind of internal war between between like some of the warring factions, like this guy called Bashir Dawud Khan and the Lion of the Desert.
Which I believe, if I remember correctly, my history, there was someone named the Lion of Afghanistan, and apparently he helped out a lot. If I remember my history correctly.
Yeah, so something I love about Hyena Road is because it's based on several different war stories from real people that happened in Afghanistan, or real events that happened in Afghanistan, such as the Lion of the Desert, aka Ghost, being named after the Lion of Afghanistan, and the Canadian general in the movie. Sorry, I'm kind of speaking like William Shatner a bit. Is based off of General Stillman, and his name in the movie is General Rillman.
Oh, I didn't even realize this.
And there's the movie, and there's a bit of a thing, kind of a famous military couple, because one of Lieutenant Jennifer Keller lost her husband, Corporal Bryce Keller, during one of the first major Canadian battles in Afghanistan. And this is mirrored out. Slight spoilers for the movie. If you don't want this, skip to the time that we'll designate.
Yes. We forgot. Michael, we forgot. Movie spoilers.
Yeah?
We forgot movie spoilers.
Yeah. Major movie spoilers for Hyena Road here. If you don't like
for any movie,
skip ahead. Yeah.
Okay, let's just do something real quick. We're gonna edit this part that I'm about to say near the beginning.
You know what? We'll just bring it up in the middle.
No, we gotta put it at the beginning because we're gonna get butthurt people in the comments saying you didn't warn us in time.
Okay, we'll just put a banner up that says spoilers ahead, or put it in the title or something.
Yes. Okay.
But
that's all up to me.
The movie. There's two movie characters. The main character, Warrant Saunders, I believe his name is. I can't remember his first name. I think it's Ryan. Yeah, Ryan Saunders is essentially mirroring Corporal Bryce Keller with his death at the end of the movie, and his girlfriend and mother of his unborn child she's a captain in the Signals Regiment, and they Bob. And yeah, so their romance is based off of Jen Keller and Bryce Keller, who were a husband and wife couple during Afghanistan.
Yeah, another good movie.
Other things, like, it's a fantastic movie. I love it. My other favorite is one that came out fairly recently as well, which is Dunkirk. I love Dunkirk. Again, there's some glaring historical inaccuracies that people are going to call me hypocritical for not liking Enemy of the Gates, but liking Dunkirk. But Dunkirk's cinematography and its audiography is so amazing that it just kind of wipes away all the historical inaccuracies, because you can just get a real feel for what it's like to be on a sinking British ship. A British hospital ship, I'll mind you, that got sunk,
or in
a sinking,
or in a Spitfire,
or in a Spitfire, or getting dive bombed on the beach, or I think one of my favorite scenes, I call it the target practice scene, because they're in this beach fishing trawler at low tide, and the Germans. You never see the Germans in this movie, which is another really good artistic choice that I loved.
Yeah, everyone hates
it.
You
never see a German. Yeah, you never see a German's face. It's an amazing part.
And the thing is
and you see.
And no, here, hang on. And whenever they don't bring up, they don't say the Germans. They say the enemy. So which is also kind of hinting at the if I remember, again, I might be wrong. I'm trying to remember my history about Dunkirk. But there was also like a Polish brigade involved, so they didn't really know who they were up against.
Yeah.
So that's why they said the enemy, not the Germans. The only time you'll hear the Germans is when the guy who played one of the soldiers, the guy who's Harry Styles, he'll say he might
Yeah,
be
Harry
a
Styles' character.
he might be a bloody Jerry or a Kraut. You'll hear that, and it's like, oh,
Yeah, it's not Harry Styles' character. It's the guy opposite who Harry Styles. Gibson is the character's pseudo name because spoilers again, he's actually French. And they're all saying that he's a Jerry in disguise.
yeah,
because he doesn't speak, right? Because he's French.
yeah.
But there's some really good. But that actually is part of my favorite scene, which is the scene in this fishing trawler that's beached, and they're all in it trying to find supplies, and then they start seeing, or as they're walking around, they're plugging holes in the ship with their fingers as the tide starts to come in, the water starts to rise, and then they start, as one guy is plugging his finger in the hole, a shot rips his finger right off because the Germans are now using it for target practice.
Yeah.
And they have no idea that there's Brits in there. It's such a harrowing scene, and it gave me goosebumps watching it.
The scene that scared the living daylights out of me, and it actually made me realize on how, you know what the Jericho trumpets are on the Stukas, right?
Yeah, there's those things that make it go.
It's sirens. It's sirens.
Yeah.
They didn't use the typical sound you'd hear from like old movies like Battle of Britain or whatever. And
no, they used an actual Jericho siren to make sounds, and it's terrifying.
There's a video up on YouTube of them making the noise, and when you put it in the movie, it actually made me want to duck underneath the chair. I'm not kidding. I'm like, what the heck is this actually
I know,
happening?
because like it's Dunkirk is a movie best seen in theaters, because as you're watching this, as you're seeing these bombers fly, the movie speakers, that surround sound, is just screaming in your ears.
So hold on.
This Stuka sound, and then you hear boom, boom, boom as they explode.
Michael, Caleb, you guys have surround sound?
No, I do not.
Oh, if you're ever
get
going to watch,
some really good surround sound headphones if you're watching Dunkirk.
You will be scared. Trust me.
Get some like Turtle Beach headphones or something like that.
Yeah. And the funny thing is when I watched it on my laptop, I forgot how loud the Stooges sirens actually are. So I actually ripped my headphones off because I forgot how loud they were.
Yeah, it scares the out of you. And censor.
No, wait, that's Michael's line.
God.
Michael.
I wish I waited to suggest the new censored sound until the end.
Oh. All right. So, are you done, Shay?
Yeah, that's mine. That's my take on my top two. Any others I would say just to add as like footnotes would probably be A Bridge Too Far, The Devil's Brigade, because I gotta show some Canadian love here, and I wouldn't say American Sniper's one of my favorites, but it's a good one, and Hacksaw Ridge is another footnote for me.
DOS, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have a lot, okay, so it might be a while, so I'll just name them off, alright?
That's why I was consolidating it to two. Two to fully explain, the rest maybe as like footnotes.
I couldn't pick, okay? I
just
couldn't
pick two right now.
It's so hard because
look at the list.
To me, they're all so good.
Just one.
I know, but
just one of each. One bad one, one good one.
Here, I'll just name them off quickly. I'll name them off quickly, and I'll listen to your opinion.
Okay.
Quick opinions. Okay.
Bad list first. Let's go.
Okay. Bad list. Obviously, Pearl Harbor.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Red Tails is number 2.
Really crappy interpretation of Tuskegee Airmen.
It's not the BBC one. It's the one George Lucas made. George Lucas absolutely chucked out. Oh
God.
Yeah. Yes, and
I love George Lucas, but oh my God, was that a bad
I like Star Wars, but
I'm a Star Wars nut.
Yeah. And the last one I have on here is I don't know if much of you heard it, but it was actually a Discovery Channel kind of thing that they made. It was right after the raid on Bin Laden was, again, I'm bringing Bin Laden up, is SEAL Team 6 raid on Bin Laden's compound, basically.
Oh God.
Oh, if I can quickly add, because we were talking about movies, there's another movie. It was on History Channel. It was just a little low-budget movie. It was called Storming Juno. And it was
that's a good one.
really well done for what it was. And there's one scene in it that's just so damn eerie. One of the characters named Apples is wearing they see him wearing a gold bracelet. And he says it's from his mom, and they pulled it out, and they're like, "So what does it say?" Because they're all expecting to make fun of it, right? Because Apples is like 17 or something like that, and it just says, "God keep him safe."
Oh my god! Yeah.
It's so powerful, and everyone in the room goes silent, and then they just start singing "Pack Up Your Troubles," and it's just so eerie because you know that half these guys are gonna die in the morning because it's D-Day. But
Pack up your troubles in your old
troubles in your old kit bag and smile, smile.
Okay, I'm going to start naming off my movies now.
Okay, now the good movies.
You ready?
I apologize for that.
You ready?
Yes. Here we go.
Dunkirk is number 1, obviously.
Yes.
American Sniper, I actually quite liked. Lone Survivor.
Another good one.
Yeah. Hyena Road, obviously.
Yeah, gotta show the Canadian love.
Yeah. Captain Phillips.
That's another really good one.
Yeah. Michael, any opinions on the one so far?
I have no other thing to say than I agree with you so far.
All right. Hunt for Red October.
I will add. Oh yeah, that's a good one. The original one.
That's a classic.
Except for Sean Connery's accent, but
sometimes it broke, but it gets the point across. At least they're not having to,
it's like whenever Liam Neeson tries to be American, it just doesn't work. He just keeps going back into the Irish accent.
Or the guy from 12 Strong, the guy who plays Thor. Hearing him in such an American accent, just, oh my, no.
Yeah, Chris Anderson cannot do an American accent. He's too Nordic.
I hear Caleb trying to not laugh. Yeah. But anyway, this one, Kelly's Heroes. That's an old one.
Oh, I love Kelly's Heroes.
Oh my god.
Caleb's like,
Joey tried to help me find a job a while ago.
okay.
Have any of you seen Dad's Art?
It's
Have a little faith, baby. Have a little faith.
No, it's
If anyone who hasn't watched Kelly's Heroes, that's oddball.
continue, David.
Okay. Next one is To Hell and Back.
of course Audie Murphy.
The Longest Day.
Oh come on! Dude, I was gonna say that one.
With John Wayne?
Well, you can
Yes,
still
with
say
John-
it. This
with
is
John
all our
Wayne.
fault.
I don't know if any of you heard this one, but Hogan's Heroes.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
It's more of a TV
Wasn't
show.
that, was
isn't
that?
it?
But
Yeah, it was a TV show,
But
but,
we'll
like
throw-
it was so good because like
anything that involves like playing on like a TV or something, we'll throw that in.
yeah.
All right.
Okay, if any of you have ever actually seen Hogan's Heroes, it's like, or if any of you haven't, it's the one where there's a big fat German, and every time they got into trouble, he would just like, I see nothing,
Yes.
I know nothing, I just not even get up this morning.
Here's a very old one. I'm not sure if any of you have seen this. It's called Target for Tonight.
Nope.
Haven't even
Have
heard
not
of
seen
it.
It was made during the World War II. It was about the British night raids.
That would be good.
The British night raids. It was about.
You know
that.
what I would love to see? I
It's
haven't
on
seen
YouTube.
any of them yet. I want to see. No, you know what I would love to see? I haven't seen any of them yet, but I would love to see all those original old private snafu training videos.
Yes.
Oh, this is getting good. The next one, A Bridge for Too Far.
Excellent, classic.
Yes.
Use the Piat! Get down!
Battle for Britain. Battle of Britain.
I have seen that. It's very good.
The aerial cinematography. That is the only time you will see that many airplanes and how aggressively they fly. Like Dunkirk could not.
Yeah.
Dunkirk
got a lot of flack for only having 3 Spitfires and 2 of them getting shot down like 5 minutes in.
What? Oh, funny fact about Dunkirk. You know, flight lead, the flight leader.
Yeah.
He was Michael Caine.
Yeah.
And guess where else he was?
Yeah.
In? He was in Battle of Britain too, and he got shot down.
Yeah, it was kind of like a little old Easter egg kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there was like, you ever notice that most of the time when you see Tom Hardy, he's wearing a mask?
Which is obviously 100% accurate.
Like in every movie you see Tom Hardy in, though. Like even in the Venom movie coming up.
He was in Band of Brothers.
Yeah.
He made a cameo.
But like even in the Venom movie that's coming up, completely unrelated because this is it's a Marvel Comics movie. But even in the Venom movie, he's gonna be wearing the symbiote around his face for like a good part of the movie.
So,
What? Okay.
the next one I have, Devil's Brigade. And
Again, excellent. Gotta show the Canadian love.
Das Boot.
You know, I've never actually seen Das Boot.
There's 2 versions. There's the full version and the shortened version.
I haven't seen either. I've never seen Das Boot, but
Storming Juno.
Okay.
yeah.
The Pacific. The Pacific, which is
I haven't seen the Pacific yet. I want to get Caleb to send me it from Tennessee to Ontario.
Band of Brothers, obviously. But anyway, then the last 2 I have is also Band of Brothers Generation Kill. I have Generation Kill.
Generation Kill's a good one.
Yeah. Iceman. Oh,
Gotta include some classic Vietnam movies in here.
Oh,
like
Apocalypse Now. That's another one.
Apocalypse Now, Full Metal Jacket.
Yes, Gunny. I
am Gunner Sergeant Hartman, your senior drill instructor.
From now on, you pukes will speak only when spoken to, and the first and last words out of your filthy sewers will be, sir. Is that understood?
Yes, Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
762 Full Metal Jacket.
Oh my God.
Easy, Leonard.
There's one I don't have on here, but
Oh,
I'm trying to remember.
we finally found something you're good at.
There's one I'm.
Smash.
Oh my God, I can't remember it. Oh. Okay.
Can we agree that Jarhead is pretty trash?
Jarheads. Yeah. We Were Soldiers. That's actually kind of a decent one, honestly.
Yeah, I like We Were Soldiers. I would say a couple to add to my works would probably definitely be Jarhead. I hated Jarhead.
Yeah, Jarhead.
Yeah.
It's so damn boring. It's just there's nothing. It's a slow burn with no payoff.
By the
Like,
way,
what's
guys,
the payoff? A guy having a spaz attack because he didn't get to shoot somebody?
Wait. So that was the entire premise of the movie?
kind of.
Okay. If you haven't seen Jarhead, it's basically the real story of a Marine who did absolutely nothing during the first Gulf War. Like, I have no idea why Anthony Swafford felt the need to write any of this down. Because all it is he's there, and he's upset that he's there.
I didn't even get to fire my rifle.
Yeah, he didn't get to fire a single shot in the war. Like, it's just all about the waiting.
Yeah.
Really, though, it's just saying, because like the movie speaks to the premise that being on deployment is 95% boredom, 5% fun, or 5% action, or however you want to say it, or 5% fear, whatever you want to say. But like, it's such a boring movie because of that. It's accurate to a T of what really happened, but a lot of the Marines never got to see a single action. It's just such a boring movie with no payoff, but like it's just a bad movie altogether because there's no payoff to the slow burn. Like at least if you're watching a movie that's a slow burn, like sort of horror movie as an example, The Witch. If you haven't seen that, I recommend it. It's a slow burn with an exciting payoff. Jarhead is just a slow burn and then it burns out.
Right.
Caleb, you good?
It's like watching a fuse go to a bomb and then the bomb is a dud.
Yeah. Caleb, you good, by the way?
Yeah, my
And censored.
Okay, we'll cut that out.
Yeah, we're just gonna. Yeah. All right, so
So, by the way, did I mention my list is done?
finally,
Okay,
Yay!
Michael, Caleb, your go.
all
To be
right,
fair,
so
it took a long time with Jarhead.
All right, so my least favorite military movie is gonna have to be two movies: Red Tails and Battleship.
Oh,
And my
yeah,
favorite,
Battleship's pretty awful.
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I like that they used the actual
Missouri.
USS Missouri, but really,
Yeah,
aliens,
it's just
aliens.
Really?
like if Battleship had actually been like this movie set it in like the Cold War, and then the Russians jam their scanners, so they have to go a complete line of sight, just like old style. And it'd be like the game where they have to guess shots, right, on a grid. That would have actually made it at least somewhat exciting, but just aliens for the sake of aliens.
God. Alright.
And my favorite military movies are gonna have to be To Hell and Back, The Longest Day, Sergeant York, a movie you guys might not have seen. Yeah. Hey, okay.
Yeah, I need to see Sergeant York.
It's very good, Sergeant York. But Caleb, back to what you said. Sergeant York may be from Tennessee, but I mean Texas gave us Audie Murphy.
Sure.
And I wish I could give credit, but I'm still in the remote deserts of Nebraska. But I'm not sure if this 100% counts as a military movie, but I liked the Vietnam part of Forrest Gump.
That counts.
Yeah, that counts. Forrest Gump is a veteran.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of it, something I found out, they actually used some real footage of a Medal of Honor ceremony in Forrest Gump. It was Sammy Davis's Medal of Honor ceremony. They just plastered Tom Hanks' face on it.
I did not know that.
Well, that's why they did that for a lot of the scenes in Forrest Gump. They did a lot of what they did. Like anytime you see him with JFK or with Nixon or anything like that,
Or
he's actually, or John Lennon. They're all actual scenes from real history, and this is all.
Yeah, just
So these are actual
what's
filmed
the-
events. They just doctored Forrest Gump into them.
There's one
Yeah.
movie scene that I literally loved so much. It involved the Marine Corps silent drill team doing rifle drill with their M1s, and it looked so badass with the cinematography. It was
I know this. I know the movie.
It was the intro.
It's like a courtroom drama. Yeah, it's A Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men. I believe that's the movie.
I've
Yeah.
seen it. I've seen it.
I like the beginning.
Jack Nicholson, and was it Tom Cruise?
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah, you're goddamn right. I did.
have any of you seen the DI of Jack Webb?
I was gonna say that as well, but I'd forgotten the name.
Oh, I can't remember.
It's Jack Webb is an
Another
amazing
really
actor.
good-
Jack Webb's an amazing actor, and that was a good movie.
So another really good U.S. war movie about World War I, because honestly, there isn't enough. You guys were in the war for a full year and a quarter
year and a half.
of a 4-year war.
then you made, and no offense, you guys, but then you guys made the bold claim, back-to-back World War champs. Sorry, we were in it longer.
Vietnam was a tie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Who got kicked out of Vietnam?
Wait, who's that? You just quoted somebody. You just quoted a TV show. I know where you got. I can't remember where you got that Vietnam was a tie thing from, but that's what I remember. You got it from some TV show.
I'm sorry, but who got kicked out of Vietnam?
Who got kicked out of their own capital?
The U.S. Who's been guarding y'all since England? Who's been protecting y'all since England stopped?
Who's been giving you all your oil and winter training?
The movie I was thinking of. is The Lost Battalion.
Oh, that's a picture.
I have not seen
That's
it.
a really good.
But I do agree with you that there are not enough World War I movies. Like
All Quiet on the Western Front. The original.
No, there's not.
The original All Quiet.
The original one. The original black and white one is really good. So is the remake.
All Quiet on the Western Front. All Quiet on the Western Front. That's about the Christmas truce of 1914, correct?
No. It has nothing to do with it. It actually takes place 2 years. It actually starts 2 years after.
Okay.
All Quiet on the Western Front is like the story of these German school kids in 1915. They graduate. In 1916, they actually get to the Western Front, and they're still wearing the tan uniforms, the pickle hobs, and everything. And they get there, and they're serving Verdun for the majority of their time in the war, until and eventually, like, just one by one, all of them die.
Oh my god!
Like including the old hand. Yeah, including the old hand. Like it says right at the start of the movie that this movie is many things, but is not an adventure. And the last scene in the original one, the last scene you see of the main character, Paul Baumer, is he's looking out over the trenches and he starts crawling out slowly to look at a butterfly. This is real. And a French sniper shoots him.
Wow.
That's...
But like in the start of the movie, it shows that he's a bit of an artist. In the remake, they make it. There's a much better version of it, in my opinion, because all you see is in the first one is his hand reaching out to see the butterfly, because it's the first. Because like it seems childish for him to be looking at this butterfly, but when you think about it, this is the first piece of peaceful nature that he's seen since he got to France. Really though.
Jesus.
Like a butterfly there shows that there must be flowers, which means there must be something beautiful in all of this. The remake shows a slightly different scene where it establishes in the start of the movie he's drawing a lark during one of his class lectures. And at the end of the movie, he's drawing another lark that he sees and is up in a burned up tree. And he has to stand up a little bit more to get a good look at the lark. And he gets shot. And you don't see his face when he gets shot either. You just see his lower body and then it zooms in on his hands. You hear the shot and his hands clench up before he falls down.
Eesh, that sounds...
It's a great scene in a great movie. Another one, the scene I was going to talk about in Lost Battalion is like a bunch of new recruits get to the front, and these two guys just rattle off these everything they really need to know about trench warfare. It's like, this is a French chocho, show shot. It's a piece of garbage. Don't worry about it.
and it is true. The show shot is a piece of
the show shot is crap. And I just start talking about different things. They have to worry about and what they don't have to worry about. It comes down to the only thing you have to worry about if a German has one of on the rifle and is pointing to his bayonet. But that's a really good scene. Anyway, sorry I interrupted you.
All right.
No problem. Caleb.
What?
What are your least favorite and favorite military movies?
Start with the bad, end with the good.
Okay. Least favorite, I'm gonna go with what one of you said at Pearl Harbor because I actually watched it last night.
Oh, I feel bad
I'm
for
sorry.
you.
That's just 4 hours of unnecessariness. It's so bad. It's so bad.
I realized it was gonna be bad when the whole love plot thing started happening.
Oh my god.
Okay, that
And censored.
Censored.
that romantic subplot
Shay.
in that movie is just. I apologize. It's just so bad because they're just like, oh, my boyfriend left me without having sex with me. I'm sad now. And that.
Wait,
That's how the movie is.
That's
She's like my boy. The girl is like my girlfriend. The girlfriend in the movie is just like my boyfriend left for the war without banging me. I'm sad. Oh no, my boyfriend's dead. I better go sleep with his best friend. Oh, my boyfriend's back. I guess I'll sleep with him now. Like what freaking.
And censored.
I said
An inside
freaking.
joke that y'all might not get.
No, it's what you said at the end of it.
An
Oh,
inside joke that you.
Jesus Christ.
that really came out of the orange.
All right. Oh god.
Hey Caleb, bet you
This
didn't
one will
see that coming.
explain.
Okay.
It came. For me, it just really came out of the orange.
For me, it really.
For
came
those
out
of you who
very
don't know
blue.
that inside joke, I'm very, very colorblind.
Yeah, Shay can't, which means Shay can barely see a Taliban fighter at point blank range.
No, you'll
Too brown. Messes with the desert.
smell them before you see them.
Taste?
And
Do you know how difficult a Rubik's Cube is for me?
All right.
Like
Caleb.
Rubik's Cubes are hard on me, but this just makes it so much worse.
God. Okay.
I am a bit.
Caleb, let's go on to best, and then we can talk more afterwards. Because next subject is video games.
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I have a really good one for a bad video game.
I'm just gonna
Agreed.
say that. I'm just.
All right, let's go on to video game. Oh wait, you haven't mentioned your good movies.
Oh yeah.
Band of
Yeah.
Brothers.
What are your good movies?
Band of Brothers,
That's
Band of Brothers and Taps are on his list. Guarantee it.
guarantee it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad's
Army.
Bad Lads Army.
Tap-
You
Oh,
okay,
Bad
Michael?
Lads.
Michael, do you even know what Dad's Army is?
No, but it sounds bad, even though you like it.
It's a 90. Oh no, wait. It's a 60s sitcom about a home guard British platoon, and basically the entire.
Oh
synopsis-
yeah. Never mind. Just keep going.
Okay, so basically the synopsis is like the home guard was basically like a civilian army made up of able-bodied men and then senior, like 60 and above people that may have been veterans. So basically, the characters in the show were Captain Mannering, who was the local manager of the bank, his sergeant Wilson, who is his chief clerk, Pike, a 17-year-old who can't join the military due to a corned beef allergy.
That's quite a bad way not to join.
Walker, Private Walker, who was the local black market representative. He actually handles the platoon's needs of alcohol and women.
He's basically Henley from Great Escape, which is another one I forgot to mention.
Oh yeah.
My grandfather was. Speaking of the Great Escape, my grandfather was actually in Stalag Luft too at the time, and indirectly helped with the escape.
That would be
Really?
Solid Lift 3, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I love
No,
it.
it was
The
2.
escape happened at
It
3.
was 2. It was 2.
No, the camp was... No, I'm going to look it up right now just to prove you wrong, because I love being right.
I'm positive that it was Stalag Luft 2 because I remember him. Because it was in Hungary, right?
No, it was in.
It was in Sagan, Poland.
No,
I'm very well versed on this.
no. I know this because my grandfather was in one of those camp because he was in that camp, and he said that he helped with it. And the only reason I said Hungary is because that's where he was shot down.
Oh, he may have been transferred over.
Yeah.
I do remember him telling stories about a long transfer, so that might be the case.
Okay, yeah. Then there.
Yes.
But anyway, so we'll talk more about that later.
Stalag Luft 3. Stalag Luft 3 escape from 1944, known as the Great Escape, a World War II mass escape from the German prisoner of war camp. Stalag Luft 3 turned into a 1963 movie and a book by Paul Brickhill describing the escape.
Okay, so Caleb, have you mentioned your good movies?
Yeah, Taps from 1981, which you guys know that I've beat to the ground already.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something. I thought,
Yeah.
Dave, you're just gonna have to do a long censor for this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I thought.
All right. What's
So,
next?
David, please censor that,
I
in its
will.
entirety, from Caleb to it.
I will. Okay, so what else, Caleb? Do you got any more?
And Band of Brothers, obviously, which came out. It's Band of Brothers, which...
Have you seen The Pacific?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Good
So,
old
still have to
MacArthur.
s-
so our
I still have
final.
to send David my copy of the book.
Please do.
I will.
Sweet. So next subject. Oh, good and bad video games.
Call of Duty
Oh,
World
I
War.
got a really bad video game because we're gonna. I think we're gonna keep going in the order we've been going, right?
Yeah, right.
So the worst. It's actually the worst war video game and the worst video game in general I've ever played was a game called Soldier of Fortune Payback,
Oh, that was
and it was just so.
bad game.
It's just so bad. Like I can't even get over how bad it was. I got through like 2 missions before I just gave up on it because it was just so awful.
What was... okay, so, like, was there a plot, or just, like...
Nah,
Just bad.
it was
There's
just-
a plot. Basically, like you're
It's
a
a bad
mercenary who's
plot.
been betrayed, and you're in like the Middle East, and you're just trying to find who screwed you over, essentially, who betrayed you. That's my absolute worst. Some bad ones I've played. Like I'm a pretty big gamer, so I've played a few different ones. But like another one that just wasn't really all that good was Medal of Honor Warfighter. I enjoyed the story, but it was just the game.
Warfighters, like pretty.
I didn't mind Warfighter too bad, but
It's
it
decent.
too much. But it was just a little. It's
It's-
decent, but it's not the best.
It's what killed the Medal of Honor series, honestly.
Yeah.
No, Call
My
of Duty
favorite-
was what killed the Medal of Honor series.
No, Battlefield.
Yeah, but they
Battlefield.
tried to revive it. Battlefield killed it because Medal of Honor and Battlefield both strive for realism, while Call of Duty was more like on the action hero side of things.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna split this into a couple categories. My absolute favorite historical based, so World War II, I guess, video games are for my absolute favorites. Call of Duty 3.
That is actually the first FPS I ever played. I was 6.
I loved Call of Duty
That's some
3. I
good
loved playing it.
parenting right there.
I loved playing as the Canadians. I loved the British round. I loved all of it. So there's Call of Duty 3. Medal of Honor Airborne. I've been playing recently, and
I love that game.
Oh.
They-
Yes.
They
Medal of
actually
Honor
have it.
Airborne is
The
so good.
original.
I actually
Oh.
still have that. I still have my copy for the 360.
I do too. I got it actually recently because I wanted to try it out because I've heard so many good things about it.
It's really
a rare one that's still really good that I liked.
Just real quick, it's so good that last time I played it about a year ago, there were still people playing it on Xbox Live.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, it still has servers.
That's amazing.
So
Unlike
another one that I just absolutely adored, and this will probably make David really happy because he's an Air Force guy, was Heroes Over Europe.
Oh yes, that's a classic.
I loved Heroes Over Europe. It was so good. It was like my first real realistic flying type game. Well, like before that I had only ever played like a couple of like Rogue One and other Star Wars based ones.
Flight Simulator X.
I've never played Flight Simulator actually.
They actually also make combat flight simulators as well.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, it was actually pretty decent.
But those, yeah. So those are mine for like the historical ones. In the modern retelling, I would have to say both of Battlefield's Bad Company games.
Yes.
I'm a diehard for Bad Company. I love it. Oh God. What's another one that's really good? Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, both excellent. I guess like
that's it.
And oh yeah, that was no. The Operation Flashpoint games.
Oh, that's another classic.
The two newer ones. These are like Arma for console players. For if those of you who don't know.
Yeah.
Because like
Arma 2.
It's like there's Red River, which takes place in a more of a Middle Eastern thing, and there's Dragon Rising, which is I thought just played out exactly like a military training exercise should, because everything's just so one to one to one to one, and they're meant to be hyper realistic military simulation games. And they're both really good, and they have pretty decent, realistic stories. Red River is set in a real place, but Dragon Rising is set on a fictional island called Skira.
All right.
And they're both pretty good. Yeah, they're really decent. That's it for me for the.
All
right. So for me, the worst military video game I've played, I'm going to have to say, is Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, that's obviously.
Yeah.
But the sad thing is I liked it at first. Like it's a good
at first.
Like it's a good game. Like it's a good casual game, but but like realistic wise, it's okay. Really? Why?
Yeah. Come on.
It's just Call of Duty playing into more of that. We have to be hyper realistic, or we have to be hyper futuristic, and we have to. Fun fact about that game: they literally ripped off the Halo Pelican in that game. It's there. It's in the game. It's widely used in the game, and it's literally just a pelican from Halo.
Jesus. Yeah. All right. What's next?
Like Halo's got to be one of my favorite series ever.
And my favorite military video game, I have two. One one like an OG game, and one kind of a more recent game. The older one is Combat for the Atari 2600 because it's a very simple game. It's a very simple tank warfare game.
Yeah, I know.
It's got planes too. I mean, it's got planes too. I mean, I think
I've actually played it.
But my favorite modern game, and I say modern loosely because it's about almost a 10-year-old game by now, America's Army.
Ooh, that's one I
haven't played it.
That's one I heard.
No, they used to have it at recruiting offices and give it out for free.
Really?
What?
Yeah. It was a recruiting. The game was a recruiting tool more first.
That's like candy to a baby, honestly.
Yeah, before anything, it was a recruiting tool by the U.S. Army. I got my copy from one of my friends whose brother had been in the Army for a long time, and had given it to him a while back. But he didn't like the game. I played it. It is amazing. Then I ended up giving it to my brother because he's more of a gamer than I am. And I think he might have sold it to GameStop for like $2.
Oh, God.
If anyone wants some really good games that like you wouldn't expect to be good, any of the History Channel games are actually always really solid. Like
Minus Gettysburg.
There's one where Gettysburg is good.
Dogfights are good. I don't know.
Patton was another really good one. Dogfights is good. Medieval's all good. Like they're all really good, solid games.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't buy them because they're because they're History Channel stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. So I guess it's my go, right?
Yep.
All right. So, really, I couldn't really find a bad video game I've played in recent memory. Honestly, it's. I know that's going to be surprising for you guys because it might seem like a game a lot, but
I was gonna say you're the one with the gaming channel.
well, it's more of hockey stuff and gaming at the same time.
Yeah.
But I'll list my games off. I like. Obviously, what my channel has mostly is War Thunder. Solid game.
Yeah, that was a given.
Yeah.
That was a given for you.
Arma 2.
Arma 2 is good. I like Arma 3 a bit better, though.
Wargaming Red Dragon. Wargame Red Dragon. It's not Wargaming, sorry. That's a good game. It's a nice little strategy game. The Battlefield series, like I have found nothing wrong with the Battlefield series. Even in Battlefield 5 with all the BS controversy going around. I've seen gameplay. It really looks good, honestly.
I don't understand some of the controversy around Battlefield 5, honestly. Like,
what's the controversy?
You do. Okay, one of the things that's supposedly controversial is that there's a woman that you get to play as who's in the OSS.
Which is actually really...
Oh my god.
Which actually happened. Women in the OSS did
Yes, because women were allowed to be operators. Have you ever seen the movie, what was it called? It came out a little... But it was basically about a husband and wife team who were both in the OSS. And like one of the woman was like actually a double agent or something like that.
Yeah, I believe. I can't remember that. But
I can't remember the name of it, but it was a really good movie.
So actually it's another series up to a certain point. From Call of Duty 1, any game up to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, I liked. Because I mean,
World at War was just one of the best World War II games ever made.
Yes, that fall. Anything between Call of Duty 1 and Modern Warfare 3, that's the span I threw in.
So, just to throw this out here, if anyone ever wants to hear a really good review of World at War, watch The Act Man and his review of it. Okay. It's just perfect.
My next game, it's Cold Waters, which is a recently new game by Killerfish Studios, actually. It's basically you get to take command of an American submarine, and there are actually mods which are allowing you to take over like Russian subs, British subs, Canadians, you know it, you name it. One famous YouTuber that I've actually spoken to and asked a few questions about his service with the U.S. Navy. He was a submariner on, I believe, Virginia or 688. I can't remember. Jive Turkey, if any of you guys heard him. He does a lot of live stream of Cold Waters.
Huh.
Yeah. Go look them up on YouTube. It's actually really good. And also the Mighty Jingles as well. The Mighty Jingles. The Gnome Lord himself. Another one, Command Air Naval Operations, is basically another RTS game. The Medal of Honor series, I've had no problem with. I mean, I liked every Medal of Honor game.
I do like the Medal of Honor series. Just Warfighter was bad. I didn't like Warfighter that much.
Warfighter could have been kept in development.
It had so much potential.
Yeah, it could have been kept in development way, way longer, honestly. And the last one is Company of Heroes.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about Company of Heroes.
Company of Heroes, yeah.
I've been playing Company of Heroes too. I've been doing a bunch of custom matches in that with the British Forces DLC.
Oh,
and I have a bunch of mods to add. I haven't. It's not a new one. It's 2. There's 8 of them.
I haven't played the number 2. I've only played number 1.
I have a bunch of mods for the British Forces DLC that add Canadian decals to the side of the to the sides of the things, and I have to the sides of all the vehicles.
Okay,
I just wish there was a way that you could mod the voices so that they weren't British anymore. Just make them Canadians. But I do love the voice acting in Company of Heroes too, because the snappers are all Scottish, so it's all right, you have orders to move over there, and no, I don't know why.
But don't call me. Quote from Call of Duty: "I'm sure of it, but don't call me Shirley." All right.
Yeah, it's a reference to the movie Airplane. If you've ever seen that movie, surely you can't be serious. I am serious. Don't call me Shirley.
All right, Caleb, your go.
Okay, so I used to game when I was younger, but not really recently at all. I stopped now. I was 14, but probably my 2 most favorite war games are actually from the same series. So the first one is Call of Duty World War, which is self-explanatory. Then you have Call of Duty 3.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
If anyone,
guys, I'm gonna have to go a bit early.
YouTuber.
We're almost done. Right. We're almost done.
If anyone actually just wants to see a really good YouTube channel, it's just he's not paying me to do this. I've never met him. But if you ever got to see a really good YouTube channel, it's just all random information. Look up Fact Fiend with Carl Smallwood.
I've never heard of
it. It's really good, and you'll be laughing for 3 hours straight watching different videos.
Alright, Caleb, what other games?
And his real name is Smallwood.
Sorry.
Alright, yeah. Alright, so is that all, or?
I think we have it pretty well covered. If there's
Caleb?
any
my least favorite game is probably Medal of Honor 2. Being completely honest. Yeah, I didn't like it.
I'm gonna uppercut you.
Okay, I'll see it coming.
I'm kidding.
I guess some little things to add, any really good games. Can you count Halo because it's science fiction, but it's so good, and it does have a military setting because the main character literally has a naval rank as his name.
Michael just.
Yeah, Michael had to leave. He said it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll do the outro then, but continue.
Yeah, I mean, you're literally fighting with Marines the whole time. And the main character is literally a Master Chief Petty Officer in the Navy. So Halo, as an honorable mention, it's been my favorite video game series forever.
All right. So I guess that's it, right?
Just a little. No, I'm not done.
Okay.
What about Star Wars Battlefront 2?
Yes, definitely, as well. The old one. The old
The
Battlefront.
old and the new
2.
are actually pretty good, honestly.
PS2.
Yeah, the new one is alright. Pretty decent.
But we're getting off
But,
topic with military games.
So, another one that is just, I have 2 other ones that are indie games that you can go on Steam and buy. And they're just absolutely fantabulous. Ravenfield, I talk about a lot.
He's been
And
trying
it's
to get me to play
very
it.
simple. Yes, it's very good. It's just blue versus red, and
Red versus blue. Get
it's
it
just-
right.
no, it's blue versus red because
No,
the
No,
ravens
it's
are the
red versus blue.
The
Get
bad
it
guy.
right. Do you know what the reference I'm talking to?
Be quiet, Rooster Teeth.
Yes!
Okay, but like it's basically like, yeah, there's no like camouflage or anything like that. It's blue versus red. It's pretty simple. It's really good, and it runs on most computers. It runs on my piece of junk perfectly. And it's constantly getting updates. It's in like early access build 10 right now. And the other one is one for Caleb especially because it's called Rise of Liberty, and it's set during the Revolution.
Really?
That's again. Yeah, it's set again. Like it's set during the Revolution to like do all these historical battles, and you get to fight in line battles, and it's amazing.
Oh, lovely. Where everyone's basically target practice.
Or if 1812 starts
Yeah,
starts playing slowly in the background.
and like you get to choose when you play this game. You get to choose if you're gonna fight for the colonialists, as it calls them, or the British. I obviously choose British.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. Alright.
And it's just such a good game because, like, it gives you a good idea of what it would be like to fight in a line battle.
Hold on. Wait, hold on, guys. How long has this podcast been going for?
Over an hour, I would say.
It's pushing 2 hours.
It is.
Almost.
Something tells me while Shay is playing Rise of Liberty, he's like, oh, there's Caleb. He won't see me coming. I'll just shoot him.
Also, definitely. Like, for that game, I've unlocked the axe pistol.
What?
So,
Oh, that is an actual
you know how I have
weapon.
that book of military weapons? Yeah, you know how I have that book of military weapons, right?
I've seen one.
I saw it in there, and then I saw it in the game. Like, yes. And so now, if I've shot my musket, and I don't have, and like if I'm in the middle of a reload animation, I can't just use the bayonet on it, but I can switch to the axe pistol. So I'll just censored.
Hey, censored.
Hack it, guys. That's the running.
Censored.
I've seen.
That's what just coming to work to me.
I've seen the I've actually held an axe gun before.
What?
Seriously, there's one at a gun show, and it's also where I've gotten my hatred for the M9. I hate that gun.
Well, like the axe with axe guns and
1911 all the
other
way, boys.
Dude, agreed.
axe guns. Agreed. Axe guns and other guns are like
Those things
There's
are
other
heavy.
things that just try to add hand weapons on guns are just so cool because it's like, what can we do to make him hold as little weapons as possible? Add weapons onto weapons. Yo, dog, I heard you like weapons, so I put a weapon on your weapon so you can kill while you kill.
Alright, I think we're going to end that podcast here, guys, right?
Okay.
Alright,
Alright.
see you all in 2 weeks.
Wait, hold on. So, unfortunately, guys, Michael had to leave, and yeah. The problem is that me and Shay are not in school right now. We are graduated from high school. Caleb, on the other hand, he has basically knife disorder and is also has sleep deprivation.
I have insomnia.
Insomnia, that's the name, and he also has a knife fetish, as you can hear in the background.
I cut my thumb earlier before you started.
And that will be in the blooper reel.
What?
I was recording that,
Because
by the way.
you're a numpty.
I'm nuts.
Numpty. Censored.
Numbnuts is okay.
No, you're censored.
A cock.
But yeah, he's a bit of a. Caleb's enough. All right,
so
any final closing thoughts, boys?
No.
this is probably going to
Did
be
you
the
just assume
longest.
Did you just assume my gender?
Shush! No, we are not bringing gender politics into this. If we are too, I'm going to
This is
uppercut
by
you.
far the longest one. He won't see it coming.
Wait, what?
All
I
right,
stole your line.
all right, guys.
What did you say?
Leave a like and a comment down below. Share and subscribe today. Go find
No one
all our
watches
personal
us.
channels as well. They should be up
Don't
on-
have them stalk us.
Don't stalk us, by the way. Yeah, that's a very bad thing. Or else you're not
I
going.
was gonna say my last name is very much on my personal channel.
Oh right, yeah, and Caleb's.
Yeah.
Mine is not.
So like, don't go to our.
Everyone knows my channel.
Okay,
so.
Juno.
Please don't try.
So let's just not.
Okay,
Please don't. Please don't try.
I'm pretty sure they've seen like the back of your jersey on your channel though.
What? Really?
Probably. Like
No.
you have some videos that you
No.
probably like seen the back of your jersey.
Nope. No one has. It's either...
I'm not sure. I'm gonna call them tomorrow morning.
All right, guys.
Night.
We'll see you guys later. Hope you all enjoyed the podcast. Hope you all enjoyed this. We'll see you later. Peace out. And you guys say bye in your own way.
Yep.
Bye.